All right, so I've got a podcast up right now. It's called the Shop Floor Podcast. Now I'm going to open up this new podcast. We're going to call it the Byron Show. Is that a good name or? Welcome to the Byron Show. My name is Byron D. Brooks. The show is brought to you by Midwestern Ox Productions. I have a guest here with me. His name is Gavin Gercone. How are we doing, Gavin?
Doing good. How are you today?
Oh, doing good, doing good. It's a Hume Fair. It's a family tradition to be out here, so I'm happy to be here, man. You're a saddle bronc rider, right?
Bareback and bull rider.
Bareback and bull rider. So, how did you get started into that? Have you always just has your family always been in it, or?
My dad and my oldest uncle, they grew up riding. My dad did some steer riding. Uncle rode bulls for the Mocan Youth Rodeo Association in '91, and then early '60s, late '60s, and early '70s. My grandpa worked at Casey Stables, and they'd make their own arenas, and they'd get on bucking horses like that. Um, I really got brought up into it though, into the bareback riding. I was sitting at a friend's house one night and they said they were going to a rodeo. Asked if I wanted to get on or go with, and I just thought I'd go watch. And I ended up getting on that night, and ever since been stuck to it.
Right on, man. Right on. What do you think is your favorite part about being on a horse?
Favorite part about what?
Being on a horse.
Just the adrenaline kind of. So when I used to get on it, I used to get real antsy, real nervous. Now it's just kind of, I'm a whole different person, you know. Going from being friendly and open like this to focus on one thing only. And I mean, I'm determined to get after that horse and do the best with what I got, you know.
So there's a lot of lessons that can be learned just from riding a horse, right? Or riding on a horse that doesn't want you on there, right? What do you think that you can learn from being a saddle bronc rider or bareback rider or bull rider that could be applied to life? Like, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from that sport that can be applied to your day to day life?
So one of my biggest lessons, or I guess motivational quotes that I take into every day. I even said it last night to someone I was staying with. I was sitting around with Ty Blessing. He's a URA, PRCA, MRCA bareback rider. Um, we were sitting at his house. He helped me with my glove, and we were sitting there talking. He said, "Why would you not go into something trying to win it?" And that's not. I mean, that's in the rodeo arena, at work, when you wake up in the morning, you tie your shoes. If you're not going to do something 110%, why not? Why would you do it?
Right. Yeah, I love that attitude. I think I think it's a very commonplace attitude for rodeo culture. I would say. What do you think is the worst day that you've had on a horse?
So I'll tell two different stories on that one. I was at a junior world finals qualifier in Winterset, Iowa, right around COVID, and I ended up qualifying for the junior NFRs, and then COVID came around, and they ended up moving it to Fort Worth, Texas, in 2020, and we had gotten everything signed up, ready, entered to go down to Texas and ride, and then COVID came up, and my stepmom is she's one of them high risk patients due to her health with her lungs and respiratory, so we kind of had to sit out of that one, and then I'd say the second time, actually there's probably three stories. Uh, I was at the junior NFR and I got on my first round horse. I had just gotten cleared. This was in 2021 in Las Vegas, and I had just gotten cleared from breaking my arm in August that year, and got on a plane the week I got cleared. Went out, rode a good horse from Canada that came down from Canada, and then second round horse I had an even better one, and I got on. Everything went good, and but out there I think you had to ride for like 6 seconds. Out there about 4 or 5 seconds, hand blew out, and then just sitting in that arena watching everything go down the drain after all that PT and working and trying to get back up to health was just, it was a very big shot to the chest. And then
How'd you get through that?
You know, just kind of talking through it with some people and kind of digesting the whole week, you know, for not riding no horses for 4 or 5 months with a broken arm and having to rehabilitate myself. It just told me, hey, you came out here, you took, I think it took 14th, 13th in the world that year. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to it, but I just had to pick up on them pros and learn off them cons, you know.
I've got a couple cousins that are in rodeos. They do saddle bronc, bull riding, what have you. Like, do you find it commonplace for you to focus only on the negatives on a bad ride?
So, I mean, there's sometimes like I get off a horse, get off a bull, and I'm like, man, dude, I really didn't do my job, you know. And I understand like where your cousins say that it's fairly often you can find yourself in a very negative place, especially on the back of a horse or back on the bull. But um, the biggest thing to me is you gotta take them 5-10 minutes, be negative, and then come back to the arena and digest it fully and pick up some of them pros and build off of them. You know,
How long have you been on the road doing this?
how long have I been riding, or how long has this been week going on for?
How long have you been riding for?
I have been riding. I started out riding sheep. I got on a couple of rodeos when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and then I've been riding bucking horses since I was 5, I believe. So 13 years on the bucking horses, and then I was started riding bulls around 11, 12 years old, and I'd recently just taken a break, but going back into college, I'm gonna get back into the right mindset and get on some bulls here in the next couple months.
Right on. What do you? Okay, we focus on the negative. Let's go to the positive. What do you think is the best time you've ever had on a horse?
Oh, the best time. Um, being honest, it was actually here on Thursday this last week, and July 30th. I was at Gardner, Kansas, and that rodeo I already don't quite like going to. And
Why is that?
in 2024, I was sitting in the top two in both the bareback riding and bull riding. Came out to Gardner, Kansas, had a good horse. I think I took second on it, and then had a way better bull. Went out there and got slammed flat on my back. I ended up getting carried out in an ambulance with a broken L3 vertebrae. And ever since, I've been a little skittish at the Gardner, Kansas rodeo. And so going in there, I helped out with the crew at Sierra McKellips. And then on Wednesday and then Thursday, I found out my draw was a horse he was the only ever horse, second ever horse I bucked off of in 2023, and it was December 31st. Big buckskin by the name 505 Rip. And so I drew him. I instantly knew. I was like, get it on your mind, Gavin. So about 4 o'clock, 3 hours before the perf, I was back there working on my rigging, listening to music, getting in a good mindset.
Getting hyped up.
Oh yeah, and because I knew like that was the matchup. If I ride this horse, it's set. Like it's gonna be a win. Well, I ended up getting on him. He got me twice on 2 jumps, and then I came back, set my feet, and finished the ride strong. And I was able to walk away as Johnson County Fair champ with 79 points and a good little chunk of change to go into the standings.
Very nice, very nice. And this was pretty recently, right?
Oh yeah, today is August 1st, Saturday, and this was July 30th on Thursday. So
Radical, radical. Um, you're still in high school, right?
I just graduated. I graduated May 7th of 26.
Right on. Um, what do you think are some major misconceptions that most people have about rodeo culture?
Well, to be honest, I think most people find um, that us rodeo guys are just uh, alcoholic cowboys. Be honest with you, that is nothing. That's so far from the truth, man. Um, there's a lot of guys like me and my buddies. We'd rather surround ourselves around Christ than the alcohol and partying. I mean, we might go out and hang out around a group, but be honest, this is, I mean, some people say it's a hobby also, but this thing's more work, this whole rodeo, and it's more just trying to, I mean, it's just a couple guys that we all like coming out here and doing it, and if we didn't, we wouldn't do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think just the biggest misconception is that we're all quote unquote rednecks, country guys, alcoholics that are crazy.
Right. So you said you and a friend you try to send yourselves around Christ, right?
Yeah.
So is that not common?
Um, Personally, in my friend group, we all uh, keep Christ pretty big in our heart, but I know there's some guys that, you know, they're on their own, they travel down the road, they might not think about him, you know? I mean,
Right.
that opening ceremony and that first initial prayer at the start of a rodeo, some of them guys might not really take it all to heart, but you know, if I'm doing something like if I'm pulling a rigging or pulling a saddle or helping in the back pins, I try and take that time and sit back and because in theory, like I look at it like I wouldn't be who I am today without Christ. You
Exactly.
know,
Right on. What do you think is one of the funniest moments you've had doing this?
uh, well, um, here this last winter there was a Equifest in Topeka, Kansas. It was a freestyle bullfighting, a bull riding, and a bears and broncs bucking. And it was funny-ish, but it was also kind of scary. Looking back, it's more funny than at the moment it was pretty scary. I was uh, I was out. I had torn my labrum this last winter, but I was helping the back pins. And looking back, it was pretty funny with how I acted with them freestyle bullfight or yeah, them freestyle bulls, them Mexican fighting bulls, and
What's the difference?
well, so the difference I've been on a half breed of a bucking bull and a fighting bull, and to be honest with you, they're just, I mean, you picture a bodybuilder and you put that into a bull, and them suckers like full of testosterone. They're just there and they mean it, you know.
I got you. I got you.
You yourself, as quote unquote an outsider or spectator, how do you view coming to these rodeos and watching us guys and stuff like that?
Like my perspective?
Yep.
I mean, I was never really in that in depth into it, so obviously as an outside perspective, I have just such a great respect for it. It is a the guys that carry on about it, the guys that do it full time, they have a great respect for it. Um, and it's not just a hobby, it's not just a job, it's a lifestyle. Um, I love talking to the guys that have been doing it for so long, and I also like talking to the guys that have been doing it for probably a couple days. It's I think people the things that I wish people would understand about a lot of people think that the horses and the bulls aren't treated well, and you could probably attest that that's not true.
Yeah, I will attest to that. So, you know, being around rodeo for the last decade and a half of my life, I mean, I can tell just from rodeoing that they're not treated horribly or anything. So the first misconception on that is bull riding.
Okay.
People like to often say that they have the flank is tied around their genitalia.
Mm-hmm.
That is far from the truth. The flank goes right around their, uh, I guess basically hips, but in the bulls it's just nothing but a nylon rope, and it just firm up here like that belt, and then in the bull in the horses it's just a leather belt with some lamb's wool, or I think I've seen some that also have some nylon on it, but in all theory they're pretty soft. And then be honest with you, some people say that if them horses aren't they don't buck, that they're sold off to meat and stuff like that. Well,
Do people say that?
I've seen on Facebook, TikTok, all that, and even when I first started out posting on TikTok, bunch of people like commenting how that when these animals are done bucking, that they're gonna be sold off for meat and slaughter. That is very far from the truth. And I will stand feet first and say that, especially working with CR McKellips, I've been out to their house a couple times helping them doctor. Man, these rodeo, like, I mean, they're athletes too. This rodeo lifestyle, like, they are treated better than most people are, and they live better than most people do. I mean, 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day, all the pasture that these animals want, all the feed that they
And you're
want.
back there helping the guys out, like, can I get a crumb, please? Can I get a
Yeah,
crumb?
but no, I can testify that these animals, I mean, it wouldn't be nothing different from a dog in your house, pretty much,
Right.
But yeah, that is one of the very big misconceptions. And then, yeah,
You work fairly closely with CR McKellips Rodeo Company, don't you?
I do.
So I've heard nothing but good things from those guys. Are you from the roadies that you've been at? Who are some new guys that are up and coming that you think deserve a spotlight?
That deserves spotlight.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Someone who I've come to notice, this old boy is, I mean, honestly, them Kansas boys. They're kind of tearing him up. Lane Newson, steer wrestling. He just was out in Nebraska for the high school nationals. Creek Rogers, saddle bronc rider. He was just out there in Nebraska as well. And then, uh, I'm trying to think of his name. His first name's Cooper. He's a bull rider out of here in Missouri. He's a pretty good kid. And I mean, I've seen some videos. He was at a practice pen up by the house in Belton, Missouri, Forge Ranch at Seth Reynolds' house. I mean, this little kid, he's no bigger than 5 foot tall, and he's stuck in it to these bulls.
I've seen that the shorter guys have a better handle on everything.
Oh yeah, being a longer guy like I am, um, and the horse riding, it does help because you have more to get with your legs.
Right.
But as I got bigger and taller and lankier, I started to notice that riding them bulls was a little bit harder because my center of gravity went from like here to all the way. I mean, it was very hard, but
I get what
there's
you mean.
there's guys that they make it work, and I got to find a way that makes it work for me now.
So, who are some guys that you have looked up to as you were training and filling into your shoes?
That I look up to.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. Personally, in the bareback riding, I look up to some of the older guys and also some of them younger guys. Them older guys, I like their fundamentals, and them younger guys, I like their attitudes. Um, right now, a lot of them older guys would be your guys like Casey Field, Tim O'Connell, Jess Pope, and then them younger guys would be like Cooper Heimberg, Colin Rollin, Jason Wilson. They're all Mo Valley alumni or Mo Valley athletes still. And then another one who I really like currently is Jaco Roper out of Oklahoma. He's a PRCA bareback rider. He's pretty good too.
All right, Gavin. Well, are you going? You're going off to college, right?
Yeah. So I move in the week of August 21st and into there in Marshall at Missouri Valley College. I got a scholarship set up for the bull riding and the bareback riding, and I'll be majoring in agribusiness.
That's awesome. Well, we wish all the best luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, you've been watching the Byron show. I've had my guest Gavin Gercone. Say bye bye.
Signing off.
All right, this is Byron D. Brooks signing off. Jesus loves you. Bye bye.